I just got done hitting an arm workout. I got a nice pump going on. And something that occurred yesterday, which I'm pretty sure happens to a lot of you guys, is I got into an argument with my family, mainly like my mother, maybe a little bit of my brother. And during the holidays, we're gonna be seeing family that we haven't seen in a very long time. We're gonna be with people that think differently than the way we think, right? And that's just normal. Not everyone has the same experiences. Not everyone has the same thought process. Not everyone has the same beliefs and things like that. And so this conversation I don't do politics. I really don't speak too much about politics because, number one, I don't know much about politics. I don't get myself involved in that. I probably should, but at the same time, I do my best to focus in my field and try to help those around me. And so politics got brought up, and certain points got brought up that I truly feel like very strong about. And me being very passionate and very, like, whatever I believe in, I'm going after it, And so things got a little heated, and I started getting loud, right? My mother, I don't say has PTSD, but my dad used to be very loud, and it's just not well for her. She gets kind of worried, a little anxious. And so sometimes she can mistake in me being super loud for me getting upset and angry, when reality is just, I told her, I'm like, Mom, if me and, I was talking to John, her fiance. I was like, look, if me and him were actually fighting, I would be cursing him and I'd be throwing fists. That's a fight to me. Me exchanging some words with somebody, no cursing, no fists being thrown, is not a fight, all right? But things got a little heated. People try to come down. So I got very upset. I got super upset. And then I was like, I'm out. I'm bouncing. And so I started packing my stuff up, and I was just going to leave. I'm just like done. And she came into my room, and then we just started talking back and forth, back and forth. And I kept telling myself, like, what is the outcome of this conversation? What is the outcome of this conversation? This is something I want you to learn. Anytime you have a conversation with somebody, ask yourself, what is the outcome of this conversation? What is the outcome? Because you can be going back and forth, well, this happened, you did this, you did that. Stop yourself and think, what is the outcome that I want out of this conversation? Do we want to resolve the problem, or do I want to be right? Think about that. Do you want to resolve the issue, or do you want to just be right? Because I believe a lot of times we focus so much on, like, I want to be right. But like this really good book I read, How to Win Friends and Influence People, one of the chapters was like, how do you win an argument? In the first few words, you don't. Nobody wins an argument. Because even if you have all the valid points, the person across from you isn't going to be like, oh, you're so right. Absolutely. You know what? Yeah, I'm completely wrong. Then even if they lose the argument, even if they're wrong, they're not going to feel really happy about it, right? Because we have very high egos. We never want to be wrong. Who likes to be wrong, And so after discussing over and over for a good hour, she kind of gave up, and she walked away, and I just started packing my stuff. I was just I don't want to talk to them, and I'm pretty sure it's happened to you. I'm pretty sure you've just been to a point where you're fed up, you're done. You're like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, I'm done. You're mad. You're heated. And so I just packed up my stuff, and I started, and I wasn't saying anything to them. I was grabbing, and it sometimes can become kind of awkward, but kind of like no one wants to say anything, It was my brother, his fiance, John was on the couch, and all this, they were all just chilling, but there's tension. And I don't like to make my mother upset. I love my mother. But anyways, I got everything in my car. I packed it up. The only person I said bye to was my grandma. So imagine that. You have your family. You guys had a great time the night before. And now I'm not even saying bye to anybody. I just said bye to my grandma. And my grandma's like, don't leave mad. It's not good. Don't leave mad. God doesn't like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, it is what it is, grandma. So I took off, got to Publix. I grabbed a Monster, and the whole time I'm just kind of I'm upset, man. I'm upset. I'm angry, and I start driving off. I am hungry, so I go to the first pit stop, which was about 20, 25 minutes away from my mom's house, and it was packed. I'm like, I'm not stopping here. I need to eat my chicken. So I got back on the road, and 5 minutes into it, I'm just my subconscious mind is like, bro, you're gonna be upset for the next 4 hours, because I have a 4-hour drive home. I'm like, you're going to be upset for the next 4 hours. 4 hours just thinking of all this stuff. Like your mom's done so many great things for you in your life, and you're gonna really like just walk out the day after Christmas and all this. Like, this is what I think about, and you can think about this. Like, you don't know if this could be the last time you see her Christmas wise, or the last time you see her in general, or your brother. My brother and his fiance just drove down from Chicago. They long ass drive. And so, like, I started just thinking, I'm like, bro, like, just put everything aside, put your ego aside, and understand the big picture, okay? Like, they could not be here next year. They could not be here next week. Like, do not leave angry. Something can happen to you and you can die, and this is how you leave it. And I'm like, fuck. So I got off the nearest exit. I made a U-turn, and I just drove back. I just had to put my ego aside, you know? I drove back. I got inside, and then I see my mom, and then I hug her. I tell her I'm sorry for being such a dickhead. And she's like, it's okay. And so, like, I apologize because, like, just grand scheme of things, man. Grand scheme of things. Like, you're not going to win an argument. Being upset, angry hurts you more than it hurts them. Like, I was like, Alex, you're really going to think about this for the next 4 hours? Just be upset and resolve nothing? And then, like, because, like, if you have something in your mind that's, like, eating you up and you're thinking about it, that's karmic debt. Like, you didn't do the right thing. Because when we do the right thing, we don't think bad about it. We're not like, no, we're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, we think good about it. So whenever you do something, you don't feel good about it, like I was feeling, like, do the right thing, you know? And sometimes the right thing takes courage. It means dropping your ego and being like, yo, like, I fucked up, you know? And even if you didn't, if you feel like it's eating at you, do the thing that is going to alleviate that pain. You know, or because you're spending time, you're wasting time on something that you can fix. So I came back, I apologized. We all got into the car. We went and looked at some houses. We got back. We ended up getting some food. We ended up playing Monopoly for like 4 hours, and we ended up having a good time. Like, it was a fun time. Like, I'm so glad I came back. I'm so glad I dropped my ego. I'm so glad that I had the courage to even say, or humility to be like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. You've done so much for me in my life. And so I know it can be hectic with family. And I'm not saying family is always in the right, but you know what is right. Your subconscious mind, your conscious mind will tell you, fuck, when you get that feeling of being upset or sad or angry, like, the faster you can get out of that, the better your life can start. The faster your life can start getting better. Because when I was in that negative mindset, I started listening to sad music. I'm like, bro, you're in a negative state of mind, and it's only going to bring negative things into your life. It's not going to give you prosperity. It's not going to make you better. So do what you need to do to get yourself in a more positive state of mind, even if that means dropping your ego and apologizing. You know, they might have been in the wrong, but who's it affecting more, them or you? You. So I know it can be hard with family. Be smart about it. Be smart about the energy. Be smart enough to know that, hey, they might be wrong, but if it's bothering me, like, let me just find a way to make this work. You know, and at the end of the day, we're not here for a very long time. Do the best you can with the people around you. It's tough, but it is what it is. You got this, all right? Have the courage and humility to sometimes be like, yo, hey, I fucked up. And if they fucked up, forgive them. If they fucked up, forgive them. Forgive and remember, all right? No, don't forgive and forget, all right? There's Chris Tree. It's the 26th. We're almost around the new year. I appreciate you guys. Much love.